Okay, it's that special time of the year. It's the end of the year, which means I am going to make my list of the top slabs in my collection. Usually I do 50. I couldn't narrow it down. We're going for 60, so I'm going to put it into 3 videos, and this is videos for books 41 through 60. You want to see what they are? You got to stick around. Welcome back, family. Timo Hana here. I am your host, Rich. And again, as I just said, every single year I do a couple of videos of my top slabs in my collection. I do have raw comics, but grading is subjective. So if one of the big criteria for ranking my books is value, so I know my grading is not the greatest. So if I look at a book and say, oh yeah, that's like a 4.0, it's worth this. Somebody else look at it and say, no, that's a 1.0 and it's only worth this. If I take out slabs, it's got the grade rate on it. It's easy to look up. It just makes it that much easier. So yes, I do have, raw comic books. I have Hulk 102 in a raw. I have the first appearance of Charlie Brown in the Peanuts book and as a raw. I've got, what do you call it? I can't think of the Batman book. Oh, shoot. Anyway, it's irrelevant. You got to get going on this. So I've got 20 slabs here. Now, let's get into the criteria a little bit. When I choose my slabs, okay, for the top list, I use my house is on fire mentality, meaning, fire breaks out, I'm outside, the fire department says, you know what, it's on one side of the house, but the house is all going to burn down. You got to run inside, grab one book, and come back out, and that's it. So the book that I would run in, I'm gonna grab that one. That becomes my number one. I get outside, the fire department goes, shoot, you know what? It's a little bit more time. You got time to grab one more book. So I run back in. That's number two. Now, what dictates it? A big part of it is value, absolutely. But another part of it is how hard is it to replace? I mean, let's be honest. If I had a high grade Spider-Man 300, okay, and I lost it. How many graded ASM 300s are there? 14,000? It's easy to go to a show and pick up another one. However, there's other books that I have that's, I think, like one of the books that I have, it's not on this list. I'm just using it as an example. It's the Snow White book. When I bought that was the only graded copy in the world. Okay? 7.0 qualified grade. As of right now, last time I checked, it was like 4 or 5 copies that are graded in the world. Mine still being the highest one. So if that went up in flames, how hard would it be for me to get that one back? See, it's not like I just run over to, to Heroes Con and say, yeah, I'm going to grab one of these today. I might go to 5 conventions and never see that book again. So that's another big thing, criteria. Another one is if I have personal attachment to the book. Is it, I will always say that a Disney book would be higher to me than an Aquaman book. So if they were both the same value, the Disney would be higher for me. Whereas somebody else would say, no, Aquaman's the shit. I'm going to, I shouldn't have sworn, but whatever. That's who I'm going to rank higher. For me, it's value. How hard is it to replace? Personal attachment to it. Do I have any oh, you know what? That was my first ever slab. Man, I love that book. Did I freak out when I got the book? There's all different things. So it's not strictly money generated. But if I were to say, look, percentage-wise, let's be honest, value is probably going to put about 70% of the vote into it. Okay? All right, so I've given that. One other thing I'm going to say is this year I'm doing something a little bit different. Is I have 3 different ones on this list altogether. None in this top 20, bottom 20. I have some that I consider packages. Okay, so like I'm going to use this as an example. Let's just say I had Stray Dogs #1, 10 different covers, all 9.8. I'm not going to pull them all out one at a time. I'm going to lump them together and say, in my Stray Dogs collection, okay? And this way I get to show you a couple more books without wasting spots. I think that applies to 3 different things in this list, which, and not one from 21 to 40, and 2 in 1 to 20, okay? So, but you're safe today. All right. I've talked enough. We're already 4.5 minutes in. I haven't shown you a book yet, which I know you want to see. So how about we get the list started right off the bat at number 60 with X-Men number 101, first appearance of Phoenix. Now, I do remember not that long ago, this would have been in my top 20. But yeah, as I was going through, this is absolutely, it's origin of first appearance of Phoenix. Black Tom Cassidy and Juggernaut appearance, Claremont story, Dave Cockrum cover. You got your Spaulding baseball mitt on the back cover. But yeah, a really nice presenting copy of X-Men number 101, first appearance of Phoenix. And I'm really expecting X-Men books, key books, to take a little bit of an uptick as we start getting closer to Doomsday and see more leaked pictures, trailers, that kind of stuff. Coming in at number 59, I had two of these, and I donated one to Comics Curing Cancer. Not trying to say, hey, I donated books, I'm noble. No, I'm just trying to get a plug-in for Comics Curing Cancer. If you haven't checked them out, you've got to, go right to comicscuringcancer.org. 100% of what you donate or buy during the auctions or anything goes directly to the American Cancer Society. Money doesn't transfer through any of the comic organizers' hands. Their hands are clean for it, so it's like, oh, if I donate $1, how much actually gets there? $1. Not 99 cents, $1. Okay, so gotta look at them. It's American Cancer Society, comic books. Gotta be noble. But Omega Men, number 3, first appearance of Lobo in a 9.8. And again, I had two of them, and I got to donate one to this year's auction, which was back in October, and that really made me happy that I had the opportunity to do that, which means it's going to be that much tougher for me to beat what I did this year, next year, and I got to figure out a way to do it. Oh, I got to do it. All right, coming in at number 58, we have Star Wars number 1. It's in a 9.0. What's funny is I actually bought this book, I'm going to say about 2 years ago, but I got a really good price for it. And the funny thing is that I got it for, at the time, like $120 off the book value. The market's come down. It's now down to what I paid for it. So even though a lot of books have come down in value, I have not lost any money on this book, so I'm very, very happy. Could I have waited till now and possibly get something a little bit less? Yeah, but still, I'm really, really happy with Star Wars number 1. Yeah, check it out. It's a newsstand edition because there was no direct sale. And the Spaulding Dr. J cover on the back. All right, so we're going to go into the next one, which is number 57. And this is going to go 3 different books, 57, 56, 55, of the same title. As I started getting close to like, oh, it's maybe this one and this one, I just kind of started lumping them together to make it a little easier in making these stacks. But this one, I traded a bunch of books a few years ago at Huntsville for this book. And when I did, the person I was with said, yeah, you really overtraded. You gave too much to get this book. I didn't care. I love this book. And the funny thing is that every book that I traded took a nosedive. We're talking like first appearance of, what's not Harley Quinn, but who's the one that took her place? And first appearance of Carnage, and I can't even remember what the heck the femme fatale that was Joker's partner, interest, whatever, after Harley Quinn was, but and a couple other books that were just like, these books, they're super hot. Maybe he sold them quick, but I definitely traded more than almost tripled the value of this book at the time. Didn't care, because as those books came down, Fantastic Four number 9 was a very, very good, book to get. I like this book. I love this book. Third Silver Age Submariner appearance, 5.0. One of the first 10 Fantastic Fours, 1963? 62. Oh, it's 62. It's the last issue from 62. So, yeah, I was very, very happy to get this book. I'm sorry, I hate when I leave these dots on there. All right. Next FF book, because like I said, we had 3, is another one that I just saw sneaking through on an auction that was, I thought, going for a little bit too low. And it had white pages, so I wasn't going to say no to it. It was Fantastic Four number 52, first appearance of the Black Panther, in a 4.5 white page. And this is a tough book to get in high grade because it is such a black cover, and you got the white in the back. It's, it doesn't matter, but you're going to see every single little hiccup. Somebody might have bumped that. Oh God, I can see creases in this. I see all the color breaks. There's no tears, which is nice. But 4.5 white pages, first appearance of Black Panther. Here we go. And to go to the next Fantastic Four, and I know people are gonna be like, why do you have this one up here now? It's because maybe there's another one that's later on in the countdown. But right now I got Fantastic Four number 49. Is the first full appearance of Galactus, second appearance of the Silver Surfer, and the first Silver Surfer and Galactus cover. And it's an iconic. You see this on the CG custom labels some of the times. But yeah, 3.5 off-white pages. Absolutely, definitely an off-white, not off-white to white, but I was able to put together a couple years ago the 48, 49, 50. I got to get 51, so this way I can connect it to 52. And 51 is not a key, so it's not a big deal. Coming in number 54, 50, is it's an issue number 10. And I actually got really scared when I first got this. I thought I might have, I didn't even think about it until later on. I thought, oh my God, did I buy a pence? But no, it is an American. It is a 20-cent book, I think. It's Tomb of Dracula, number 10. First appearance of Blade, because there's only one Blade. There's only ever been one Blade. Only going to be one Blade. But yeah, I didn't see the price up there. I'm like, oh no, don't tell me I got the pence version. But yeah, I wanted to get a copy of the first appearance of Blade. It's a decent looking book. I don't think a CPR or anything is going to help it. Maybe a little. You might get a bump up to a 3, but it's not worth the CPR idea. It presents pretty nicely, aside from the fact that it's missing the price and gave me a heart attack when I thought about it, but still good. Yeah, as Stitch would say. It's little and broken, but still good. All right, so let's move into four Batman books. How about that? Let me make you feel good. This one I just got. And if you're coming here from the video that I posted on the 28th, December 28th, it was my last mail call of 2025. This is one of the books I got. And it's one of the ones that I always wanted to get into my collection. Was not concerned with grade. I just wanted to have it because I think it's a cool book and it's got an iconic cover. And it's not always that the first appearance of a character is smack dab in the middle of the cover. And it's an iconic cover. This is the first appearance of Batgirl, Barbara Gordon, in a Detective Comics number 359. There's a lot of spine ticks, a lot of spine hurt on this one, but I got this at a short boxed auction that just came in this week, and I'll be honest, the morning after the auction ended, I woke up and I got the notifications, you won this, you won this, you won this. I'm like, I bid on that? Oh, that's right, 2 glasses of vodka. I got to make a video channel called Drunk Buying, because I went in with some good books and I was not upset with the price, but... speaking of drunk buying, next book. This was my first one. This one was, I was doing a live stream. And I wasn't drunk, but I was comfortably numb. Had a nice buzz going. And doing a live stream with Greg. And found out the news that George Perez had passed away. To which I immediately was like, oh my God, really? So I went on eBay as I'm on a different screen while I'm drinking and absolutely overpaid for this book. But don't care because it's one of the books that I love. I did say Neil Adams, right? I think. It's a signed by Neil Adams, Batman 251. That iconic Joker cover with Batman on the playing card. And it is signed, and it's actually right above the Lookout Gotham in black. And a witnessed signature from CGC, not a verified. Joker appearance, classic cover. Neil Adams cover and art. He did the entire thing. And this is not only an iconic cover, but this is the book where they started the switch of Joker's personality back in 1973. Prior to this, he was the goofy joy buzzer kind of character that he was played. Who played him in the show? Was that Cesar Romero? Anyway, he was a clown. He was a joke, and it was this issue, and I've read this issue. He's not full-blown Heath Ledger, but this is where he starts to make that turn. That's where he becomes a darker Joker. This is where he becomes more like an inspiration for It. You know what I mean? And it became the character that we all love today. Next up, we've got another Batman book, but this one's going back a little further. It's not autographed. I wish it was. This is from 1945, Batman number 29. And it presents pretty dang good for a 2.0. This was a few years ago when I got a pretty decent income tax return, and I wanted to use a portion of it to increase the legitimacy of my collection by getting a nice Golden Age Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman comic book. And yeah, and there were other characters that I missed out on, but I tried my best to fix that recently, and I still have several more characters to go. But all right, now we're going to wrap up this Batman collection. This is a book I bought because I looked at it and I swore this was absolutely worth a CPR grade bump, and I was wrong. I only got a 0.5 grade bump. Bought it as a 7.0. It was an experiment. I sent it out to have it done because I can press, I can do light cleaning, but I'm not an expert. I'll do it on new comic books, and they, when they don't come back at 9.8, I'm like, oh well, I tried. But when I'm coming, something expensive, I send it to professionals with, that I get recommendations from people that I trust. And this is Batman Adventures number 12. And again, it went from a 7.0 to a 7.5, still white page and still looking really good. And this is the very first appearance of Miss Harley Quinn. And this was actually based on the TV series, and it was not until can't see it. I can probably show you if I turn this a little bit. It wasn't until right there. This book that's Harley Quinn's first appearance in, and that one was a lot more. It was higher printed and easier to get. So even though I have that in a 9.4, it's not on the list. But still, first appearance of Harley Quinn. Couldn't say no. Moving on to number 49. Okay, so we did over 10 already. As long as we're talking about nice, hot DC babes. Hawkman number 4. First appearance of Zatanna. Now again, she doesn't appear on the cover, and this is the only PCGS cover. Sorry, PGX PCGS. I just combined PGX and CBCS. PGX slab that I have in my collection. And why did I buy this in a PGX? Because the sale price reflected the fact that it was a PGX. And I could not say no. And it again is the origin and first appearance of Zatanna in creamed off-white pages. It still presents pretty nice. It is complete. It's not missing any sections. It looks good from the outside. I may APR this. I don't see it's going to get much help. I think it'll still be a 3.0 and a CGC. Care what the company is. I have no intention of selling this right now or anytime in the upcoming future. What's more important to me is that it is in a slab that protects it. And I know there's people that are anti-slab out there. That's fine. You can do it. I prefer to encapsulate mine to keep them a 3.0 because otherwise I'll accidentally drop it or do something stupid, and next thing you know it'll be a 2.0, a 1.0, and a no grade. But what if you want to read it? And I'll crack the slab and read it and send it in for regrading. There are people that they take their 4-year-old's artwork and go buy a $30 frame so they can hang it up on the wall. Okay, so for me it's like a $30 frame. Big whoop. All right, staying with DC. This is one of the ones I just recently got, which was one of the main original Golden Age DC characters that I neglected before, and I'm trying to fix that. There are 3 main characters that I did not get from the Golden Age. Green Lantern, Hawkman, and Flash. So this one kind of covers 2, really only 1, but it's Flash Comics number 12. And this is from 1940, so this predates us even being in the war by a year. And if you look at the top corner, that's why I say it kind of covers, because you got a little thing of Hawkman up there. It doesn't count. I know. I got to get myself a Golden Age Hawkman. We'll see what happens. Yeah, this is a 2.5 off-white pages, and it's got the Red Ryder 1,000 shot car. Ow. You can put 1,000. That had to be a heavy-ass gun. Jeez. Wow, and the prices on this, it depends upon which model you wanted. It could either go anywhere from $1.50 to $5. That was the top of the line model back then. Yuck. So that's what we want to do, is we want to make sure that we arm our kids as they're reading comic books. All right, let's move on to number 47. Getting out of DC for a little bit here. Not too long, but this is... I was referred to read this storyline, loved it, and I was reading reprints, obviously, or online, and I loved it so much I immediately just went out and I had to buy a copy of number 1 in white pages, and it's Saga number 1. And I do. I still love this series. I didn't think that the most recent release cluster was as good as it had been originally. Maybe I just raised my expectations. I don't know. But if you're familiar with the story, this is the first appearance of Marco, Alana, Hazel, Prince Robot IV, Special Agent Gale, Vez, The Will, and Lion Cat. Lion Cat is cool. I love Lion Cat. Okay, this one, it's a low grade, and I didn't care because I had the opportunity to make sure I got a signed copy. It's a 3.5 in slightly brittle pages, so you're already getting down there. But it is from 1967. It's a Star Trek number 1 signed by William Shatner. In case you can't figure out who that looks like right there. It's funny. It's got Nimoy's got the big picture on the front, and Shatner is on the back. You know, they loved each other so much before this book came out. This book is where the jealousy started. I'm kidding. All right. To go from 46 to 45, we're going to go from Star Trek to Star Wars. Star Wars Heir to the Empire, issue number 1 in a 9.8. This is the first appearance of Grand Admiral Thrawn and Mara Jade in comics. Again, this was the comic book adaptation of Timothy Zahn's, right, Timothy Zahn? Yeah, Timothy Zahn's trilogy of novels. This was the Heir to the Empire book, and if you watch Ahsoka TV series, you know that Thrawn's in that. We haven't seen Mara Jade yet. Would be nice, but this book, I bought this raw when this in a mint condition raw was going for $40, and I saw this copy and the guy said, I want 50. I said, well, it's a $40 book. He said, yeah, but I guarantee this is a 9.8. I'm like, well, if you're that sure, why don't you send it in for grading? You know. But I couldn't find any flaws with it. I had to agree with him, so I bought it. And this is a tough book to get in 9.8. Let me look at that back cover. Actually, and the front cover, too. A lot of color rub on this book. And the first show I had gone to that had CBCS and CGC at, I went there to drop off and submit a bunch of books. Now, CGC canceled because there was this new thing called COVID going around, but CBCS was still there. So that's why this is CBCS. It comes from my first ever submission. And yes, I got that 9.8. So I was very happy about that. And that used to be a lot more expensive than it is now. But even as much as it's dropped, it's still worth a lot more than $50. All right, moving to number 44. We got 4 books left here. And I got to send this one back in at some point because I did drop it and crack the case. Moving back to Batman, because there is one Batman book that I had here that I didn't include with the others because it couldn't go as low as the other ones. This one I just love too much. It's Batman number 181. First appearance of Poison Ivy. Think about it. 181, Poison Ivy, and Hulk 181, first appearance of Wolverine. That's a great number. I mean, I'd like to know what is the best number comic book that across all different issues and platforms has the most / best first appearances. Other than you can't say a number 1. Okay, because number 1 has the first appearance of everybody. But yeah, first appearance of Poison Ivy. Pinup is in here. And This is not a CPR candidate, but as you can see, I did oopsie it at some point, which didn't hurt the book at all, but it did oopsie it. But there you go. All right, 3 left. We have, coming at number 43, Marvel Superheroes presents, in issue number 20, Doctor Doom in a 7.5 off-white pages. Yeah. Yeah, when I heard that Kang was not going to be the baddie, I thought the only thing they could do is Doom. So I always liked this book, but thankfully I jumped in and got it before the prices went nuts. They've come down a little, but they still haven't come down to where I got it. And I love the cover. You know, it's not a key. Oh, it is. Yeah, well, actually it is. First appearance of Valeria. But I always loved that cover. And based on its sales, so do a lot of other people. All right, number 42. Now this is a number 1, but it's not a first appearance. It's just after it went from one title to another title. It's Iron Man number 1. This book, another book that's dropped a lot in price. But then again, if you go back to when I was first collecting comic books, Iron Man number 1 was never an expensive book. You know, it really wasn't. I mean, I think when I first started, this was like a $40 book in mint condition, because Iron Man, okay, Submariner, okay. And people wanted Spider-Man and X-Men, Fantastic Four, Hulk, Superman, Batman, you know, those characters, not Iron Man. Iron Man, prior to the MCU and Robert Downey Jr., was not the super popular character that it is now. But it is an Iron Man number 1. It is a 4.0 in off-white pages. And it did come out in 1968. So, and, ooh, okay. And just to make sure that we are keeping things still pretty dang good, coming in at number 41, finishing up this video of top books in my collection, top slab books in my collection, we're going to an X-Men book with a custom blade, which I didn't pay extra for, thankfully. It's an X-Men number 94. And yes, it is a 5.5 white pages. And it looks pretty nice. I mean, I don't see why it got as low as a 5.5. It does have a pretty bad ink stain along the back, but they're not supposed to take off for that. So honestly, if I were to look at this and not take away the ink stain, I would put this book closer to a 6.5. Maybe on a good day a 7. Am I going to crack, press, resubmit? Nope. Because the price that I paid for this, because nobody wanted to buy a book with a bad ink stain like that on the back, was so low that I'm not going to mess around with it. But this is Count Nefaria. This is the second appearance of all these characters. New X-Men begin in series. No more reprints. Hey, if you read the X-Men back then, you knew that like the last 25 or 30 issues prior to this were just all reprints. Sunfire leaves, second appearance of Nightcrawler, Storm, Thunderbird, and Colossus. And I think the issue after this, 95, Thunderbird gets killed. I'm not sure if he ever came back or not. But that is going to wrap up this video here with the top books in my collection, books numbers 41 through 60. And as this video is compiling, I've already got the stack ready to do 41 through 60, so the shirt's going to look the same. We're just going to keep going. And then I'm going to get the 1 through 20. Sorry, the next one is 21 through 40. You know what it is. You're going to see it. You're going to watch it. I'm going to drop these out on January 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. So if you're on January 1st and you're watching this one, make sure you keep time for tomorrow because there'll be another video. If you're watching this after January 3rd, well, then go ahead and check the other 2 videos because they're already out. All right, guys. And again, don't forget to support Comics Cure Cancer. Take care of yourself. Best wishes for the holidays, for the new year. And until I see you in the next video, mahalo.